shows humanity indoors. We both have been told by women who have faced terrible things that watching Grace and Frankie has kept their head above water, given them hope. It's also given them a million laughs.
Do we look like we're senile and can't remember it? Where is the car?
Tomlin and Fonda actually are great friends in real life, but they're not exactly like the women they play. For instance, Jane Fonda doesn't drink nearly as much as Grace.
Yeah, you stopped drinking.
And here's why. It's because even with one drink, like if I had a martini tonight, I would be at half-mast tomorrow. But that wasn't true when I was younger. But as you get older, I think alcohol affects you differently, and I only have so many tomorrows left. I don't want to be at half-mast for any of them. Grace and Frankie premiered in 2015, and it just wrapped its 7th and final season, making it the longest-running original series on Netflix ever.
Did either of you imagine starting out that at this point in your lives you would have a steady gig like this?
No, I didn't.
No.
I was ready to go on the road again.
A child was asked to describe the feeling of joy. She said it's mild and gentle on your hands. I worry that drugs have forced us to be more creative than we really are.
Back in the 70s, Lily Tomlin's Road Act was her widely acclaimed one-woman show, appearing nightly.
I thought you liked that other kind of cake. That cake with the icing. Police, stop talking about that cake!
When Jane went to see it, she just started working on an idea for a movie that would become 9 to 5.
What did you think watching Lily on stage?
I fell in love. I mean, I was blown away, and when I left the theater that night, I said to myself, I'm not making a movie about secretaries unless Lily Tomlin is in it.
And we know how that turned out.
You mean she's a company spy? I wouldn't say that. I would just say that if you want to gossip in the ladies' room, I'd check first under the stalls for her shoes. Happy birthday, Myra.
But you may not know that Lily Tomlin quit after the first day of shooting.
I said, just, you have to let me out of the movie. You don't have to pay me anything. I thought I was just awful. I said, I'm just going to ruin the movie. And then I saw the dailies from the second day, because he couldn't drop the papers quickly enough. And so I thought, well, I'm pretty good. It's okay now. I think I'll just keep this part.
They've been friends since, together on set, and occasionally on the protest line. In 2019, the pair, who both have a long history of social activism, were arrested together on the steps of the U.S. Capitol during a demonstration over climate change.
Forests are a key ally.
Jane says political activism is, well, in her blood. I think a lot of that comes from my father. You know, as an actor, he either played an underdog or he played people who stood up for the underdog.
Wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there. Wherever there's a cop beating up a guy, I'll be there.
That was like in his DNA. He didn't like bullies. He believed that we had to fight for people who were less fortunate. And, you know, I inherited that from him.
That's in your DNA, too.
Off-screen, Henry Fonda was said to be an intensely private man. And Jane says she inherited some of that, too. I'm my father's daughter. I could be in a car with him for 3 hours and he wouldn't say a word. So, you know, it's hard for me to be social. It's very hard for me to go to parties and all of that. I'm not comfortable at all. So any excuse to be by myself is...
You like that?
Yeah.
You forced yourself to go out.
Kind of, yeah. And when I do go out, I tend to find a corner and stay in one place the whole evening. But she always seems to show up when she's needed. In fact, Jane Fonda started making her famed workout tapes to raise cash for the causes she believed in. And so I thought, well, maybe I should start a company that will fund what we're trying to do. And I had a very smart friend who said, never go into a business that you don't understand. But there was one thing I knew, which was exercise.
She sold close to 17 million copies of her Feel the Burn tape, and she gave most of her profits away. In fact, she still does.
She does that. She gives all her money away. I mean, this jacket, I've seen this at least 10 times.
Still, her lifetime of exercise has had benefits beyond merely financial. At 84, she looks great. In fact, they both do.
I'm super conscious that I'm closer to death, and it doesn't really bother me that much. What bothers me is that my body is, basically not mine. My knees are not mine, my hips are not mine, my shoulders not mine. You're looking at somebody who's only me from here up. Oh, gross, I'm Francis.
Truth is, what makes Jane and Lily, and Grace and Frankie work, is that fake joints at all.
Thank you so much,
They seem so very real.
The fact is, if you're alive and relatively healthy at an older, I'm almost 85. The fact that I'm still alive and working, wow, who cares if I don't have my old joints and I can't ski or bike or run anymore? My father was 6 years younger than I am when he died, and he seemed so old. So, age is not so important. It's health. You can be really old at 60, and you can be really young at 85. Health.
Beautifully put. Why are you laughing?
I just like to hear her talk.
Sunday morning on the radio continues in a moment.
The Fed gathers in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Inflation expectations are higher.
We've got a good chance of a soft landing here.
We are far from done yet.
Tune in for a special edition of Bloomberg Surveillance, live from the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium.
The stop and go Fed.
Inflation front and center.
That green light, it's a little bit brighter for them to come again.
Breaking Fed news first. Live from Jackson Hole, August 25th and 26th, starting at 7 a.m. on Bloomberg 1130 and Bloomberg Television.
In a global tax landscape that changes by the day, it's what you don't know that can leave you exposed. At Bloomberg Tax, we provide market-leading intelligence and practical applications to help tax professionals work smarter, faster, and more accurately. Our solutions provide the insights you need for game-changing outcomes to revolutionize your performance in real time. The difference is Bloomberg Tax. Learn more at pro.bloombergtax.com.
At Bloomberg, we believe in the power of ideas. That's why we launched Bloomberg New Economy Catalyst. It's a community of global leaders and innovators who are blazing new trails to transform business and government. This platform will help them share their ideas with the world and provide access to the resources they need to bring them to life. Bold thinking, breakthrough action. Learn more at BloombergNewEconomy.com/catalyst.
Ricky.
Dear Calvary Hospital, there was no better caregiver on earth than our mom, Mary Houlihan. She taught us the value of our family, our Catholic faith, and caring for those in need. After raising the 6 of us, Mom went back to college and earned her doctoral degree in social work from Fordham University. Then she volunteered at her beloved Calvary Hospital. There she witnessed tender love and care for end-of-life patients as never before. During her final days, Calvary was there for her, making Mom's last journey peaceful and pain-free. She received the dignity and compassion she so greatly deserved. God bless you, Calvary Hospital. The Houlihan family.
This is Frank Calamari, president of Calvary Hospital. To learn more about our unique Calvary care, call us at 718-518-2000. Calvary Hospital is where life continues.
Breaking market news from the Pacific Rim. Bloomberg Daybreak Asia.
I'm Brian Curtis.
And I'm Doug Krisner.
We'll break down second quarter results from Saudi Aramco and look at the company's plan for carbon capture.
And will Japan's second quarter growth return the economy to its pre-pandemic size?
Bloomberg Daybreak Asia. Tonight at 6 on Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com. Bloomberg, the world is listening. Thanks for making us part of your Sunday morning routine. This is CBS Sunday Morning on Bloomberg Radio.
Next weekend, I catch up with tennis legend Chris Evert, plus a summer song from Pat Benatar. I'm Tracy Smith. Join us when our trumpet sounds again next Sunday morning on the radio.
Live from the financial capital of the world, broadcasting across the globe, this is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130.
In the quick.
This Sunday, the FBI's Mar-a-Lago search.
Upholding the rule of law means applying the law evenly, without fear or favor.
FBI agents remove 11 sets of classified documents from Donald Trump's Florida home, including top-secret files. After attacking the FBI for the search,
The FBI raid of President Trump is a complete abuse and overreach of its authority.
It is Joe Biden's DOJ, and they have weaponized this FBI at every turn.
some Republicans toned down their rhetoric.
You would think there would be an adult in the Republican room that would say, just calm down, see what the facts are.
What's in those documents? Why did Mr. Trump keep them? And was national security compromised? My guests this morning, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar and Republican Senator Mike Rounds. Plus, what kind of legal jeopardy could the former president face? I'll talk to NBC News legal analysts Chuck Rosenberg and Andrew Weissman. Also, violent reaction.
Subject supposed to be armed with body armor. He fired several shots at officers.
A man apparently reacting to the FBI's search is killed by authorities after trying to attack the Bureau's Cincinnati office. Will others be moved to violence? And the midterms outlook from the Kansas abortion vote.
I hope we inspire other states when they get the opportunity to vote to really think about a woman's choice.
To a string of successes for President Biden. Signs that the expected Republican red wave may be weakening. Joining me for insight and analysis are Eugene Robinson, Amy Walter, Matthew Continetti, Betsy Woodruff Kwan, and Michael Beschloss. Welcome to Sunday. It's Meet the Press.
From NBC News in Washington, the longest-running show in television history. This is Meet the Press with Chuck Todd.
Good Sunday morning. Chuck Todd is off today. Even by Donald Trump's standards, it's been an extraordinary week. First came word of the FBI's search at Mar-a-Lago for classified documents. While that prompted an "it's about time" reaction by some on the left, the noisiest voices on the right were calling for everything from the abolishment of the FBI to civil war. Then on Wednesday, the former president, who once said pleading the Fifth Amendment was for mobsters and the guilty, did so himself more than 400 times in a New York civil suit. The list of items removed by the FBI at Mar-a-Lago and revealed on Friday included 11 sets of classified documents. 5 sets were top secret, 3 sets were secret, and 3 were confidential. And there are still so many unanswered questions. What kind of legal jeopardy does the former president face? Could he be in violation of the Espionage Act? What do we make of claims by Mr. Trump that he had already declassified the documents? Will the calls for violence from the far right inspire more people like the man who attacked an FBI office in Cincinnati and was eventually killed by authorities? And how will an already divided country survive this latest stress test between Mr. Trump and the law?
Faithful adherence to the rule of law is the bedrock principle of the Justice Department and of our democracy. Upholding the rule of law means applying the law evenly, without fear or favor. Under my watch, that is precisely what the Justice Department is doing.
And joining me now is NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delanian. So Ken, what do we know about the documents seized at Mar-a-Lago?
Good morning, Andrew. Well, the warrant tells us the FBI seized 5 sets of documents marked top secret, and that means information that, if disclosed, would pose exceptionally grave danger to U.S. national security. But among that was 1 set marked top secret sensitive compartmented information. As you know, Andrew, from covering the intelligence community for a long time, that means information that's so secret only a small group of people inside the U.S. government can see it, those who have a need to know. We're talking about things like names of CIA sources in Moscow or images from the most advanced spy satellites. This information was so sensitive that the FBI agents who took it out of Mar-a-Lago would have had to take it to a special facility. We're talking about the most protected secrets in the U.S. government.
You have to even read them in a vault. So what about the urgency? The former president said he cooperated. They had to go with a search warrant. That's what has outraged so many people on the right.
Right, and people are asking, well, if it was so urgent, why did it take a year? And it's becoming clear as we learn more about this investigation that the FBI only gradually came to learn that there was this extent of classified information sitting there at Mar-a-Lago. And there was a progression here. The National Archives turned over 15 boxes of records. There was classified information in it. They referred it to the Justice Department, which began investigating. We know that the top counterintelligence officials of the DOJ was down in Mar-a-Lago, meeting with Trump lawyers in June, but they were assured, and they handed over some documents, and then they were assured there were no classified documents left. And then the Justice Department came to learn that may not be true, which seems to have led them to seek a search warrant.
We understand that we confirm that they had an informant. So does it even matter if these documents were classified, because the 3 potential crimes that were listed in the search warrant don't require the documents to be classified?
Exactly. That's getting lost here amid this debate about Trump's defense that he can declassify anything. None of these three statutes require that the information be classified. The DOJ's position is these are U.S. government documents, property of the government, not Donald Trump's. It's illegal to steal them, and it's illegal to mutilate or conceal them to